So Martin, please join me on stage.
Thank you very much. Great pleasure to be here today to shift momentum slightly to another part of the world. We're going to speak about Asia. But try to think for a second. How many Asian global brands are there outside Japan and maybe outside Korea? We all know the likes of the Sonys, the Toyotas, the Samsung, the LGs. What about Hong Kong, Taiwan, Singapore, Indonesia, Malaysia, the rest of Asia? I would argue there's less than 10 Asian global brands today outside Japan. And that is that Asian businesses for many years focused on low cost and focused very much on being very diversified. Focused did not much on innovation. They were copycats. They did a lot of reverse engineering, took a Nokia phone and just did it and produced it at low cost. Another good argument from Asian managers, and I do consult a lot for the Asian businesses, they would say, Martin, we believe in Nike, we believe in L'Oreal, it works for McDonald's. But if I go to China, there's a 30% overcapacity. So why should I build a brand? Try to think of this paradigm. If you're a shoe manufacturing company, and they're most often produced in Indonesia or in Vietnam, you get around $5 if you're the manufacturer on the left-hand side. The more you move to the right-hand side, the more you capture part of the brand value. So why haven't they done it? What happened? What went wrong in the Asian businesses? I think it went wrong because in Asia, marketing and brands for many years has been way too tactical. And I might look at your business as well, I might look at many Western businesses as well. Branding, marketing still resides very much at a very tactical level. Try to look at this diagram. Think about your own businesses. The chief marketing officer. How many of your businesses would have a chief marketing officer? We don't care much about the title here, but we care about the stature of that person. The C-level indicates something very, very important in the boardroom. And if you look at the Fortune 500 companies, only 2 to 3% of those companies would have a chief marketing officer. So how do you really do it? How do you build a brand? I have 3 cornerstones here, and I use that very much in Asia. First of all, you need to have the resources. And very often in Asia, an Asian manager would say, Martin, I can't afford $100 million a year like the McDonald's and the Cokes. And I'm telling him all the time, just look at Starbucks. Starbucks never advertised. But in Asia, it's also very much about the content, about what's inside the brand. What is your story? What is going to make Li Ning different? Why should I go to Banyan Tree? Until recently, Asian consumers, in particular Asian managers, had what I refer to an inferiority complex about Asia. Anything that came from the dream factory from Hollywood, from the luxury factory in Paris, the fashion factory in Italy, we heard a great story today from France, as long as all the brands came from the Western world, they were deemed to be much, much better. One of the greatest case stories that I use all the time from Asia is actually the Singapore Airlines. It's a bit of an old brand, nevertheless, probably one of the best brands that you have seen out of Asia, and probably a brand that many businesses in the West can actually look at and can learn from. Back in '73, they founded it. Here you see her. She's a Singapore girl. She was fitted in a uniform, the Malaysian national dress called the sarong kebaya. They brought Pierre Balmain, very famous designer, came in for 6 months, and he refitted the national dress into the sarong kebaya, and they created the Singapore girl. Try to see some of the global brands that I put up here. You see them, Goldman, Google, McKinsey, L'Oreal, Singapore Airlines, so forth. What is it that these companies are so good at? That is hiring and retaining the right people. Because what these companies want to do is to bring people from know what to care-wise. And care-wise are important for modern organizations, but they are very, very hard to find, they're very hard to train, and they're hard to retain. And if you do all this, we know that once we engage our customers, we deliver a premium, obviously Singapore Airlines, but also if you look at companies like Samsung, the LGs, and many other rising brands, are delivering a premium when you're balancing the promise and the delivery, and that's where the hardship comes in, because it's a quite a long-term tenure to get things right here. Conclusion is that we haven't yet seen many Asian global brands, but over the next 5 or 10 years, we're going to see a lot of competition from Asia.
Ladies and gentlemen, Martin Roll, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Cheers.